Just this hour, a Texas judge has now extended his suspension of the White House moratorium on deportations. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton sued the Biden administration for its 100-day pause in deportations of certain illegal immigrants. Power panel slides in now. Richard Fowler, senior fellow at the New Leaders Council, Guy Benson, host of The Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio, both part of our Fox News family as contributors. Gentlemen, good to see you today. Guy Benson, what immediate effect could an extension on a stay on deportations and other policy changes by the Biden administration have?
Well, I think broadly speaking, the weaker that they look on enforcement, the more it invites people to come here illegally and do things that are dangerous, send their children here. Some of the same nightmares that we saw during the Obama administration, thanks to similar failed policies. And I think, Harris, as you look at some of these decisions, right, I consider myself relatively moderate on the issue of immigration, but this is how you turn off moderates. If you say if you've entered the country illegally, so that's unlawful act number one, and then you commit another crime, but it's only DUI or it's only assault, we're not going to prioritize you for deportation. I think that sends an absolutely terrible message in terms of incentives. I think it makes a mockery of law and order. I think it is a slap in the face twice over to immigrants who've gone through the legal process. And you couple that with the cessation of these deals that the Trump administration was able to hammer out with some Central American countries on asylum, which have been successful policies. Also another one with Mexico that helps stem the tide at our southern border and take some of the pressure off of us and our people and our resources. Just to cut those loose with no other plan in place, just to show that you're not Trump, I think is really, really bad planning.
Richard, how does it help our national security to tell people who would want to gain access to our nation that they get a cutout for certain violent crimes if they get here? We won't deport you if you do those things. How does that help us? How does that keep us safe?
Well, a couple of things here. I think number one, I think majority of Americans believe that the Trump immigration policy was draconian and lost control of both chambers of the House and the White House. So there's a majority of Americans who think there's a better way to doing immigration in this country, right? And that's what the Biden administration is trying to fulfill. Now, let's remember, he's only been in office for 2.5 weeks. In that 2.5 weeks, he sent a complete bill to the House for them to review that would be an entire overhaul of our legal immigration process in this country, understanding that the current immigration that we have is a patchwork of policies built in the 1980s, and we currently live in 2021. So what the Biden administration is trying to do here is get rid of the bad Trump policies and create better policies bipartisanly, and it's time for Republicans to work with them to get it done instead of complaining.
No, they're getting rid of some of the best policies there, and I didn't hear an answer to your question there, Harris.
Yeah, these are policies that were rejected. These were policies that were rejected by the American people in November. Richard didn't answer my question.
Guy's right about that. But what Richard did was he opened the door on another one. You used the word draconian, and I just want to remind you that it was former President Obama who put children in cages when like the tens of thousands of them were coming across the border illegally, unaccompanied minors. And we are having a problem with that again now. And there has been talk about, well, what do we do with these unaccompanied minors? And if it looks anything like what Obama did, you get slapped with that label of draconian. So we'll be watching for that. I do want to just say one more thing to you, Richard, and get your response to this. You know, just in terms of what national security is, national security experts I've talked with have said carving out, so I'm going to get back to my question now, carving out certain violent crimes and telling people if you come here and commit those, we won't deport you, actually does not make us safe. Again, why do you think it does?
Well, I think number one, I think you have violent crimes is an ambiguous term, right? So if we're talking about murder and we're talking about rape, those people should absolutely be deported. And that's exactly what's in the Biden plan. But what we're also saying is if you commit a DUI or you get in trouble for having a small amount of marijuana on your possession, should you go through due process and be penalized by the local legal system? Absolutely. But does it mean you should be deported? No, it does not.
Yes. Yes, it does.
But the American people disagree with that. 80 million of them voted for Joe Biden.
That's not an endorsement
You know
of
what?
letting people who
That's
commit
tricky. I see
assault
what you
after
did
entering
there.
the country
that
illegally.
actually is an
I
endorsement.
see what you did there.
When
The
Donald
American people
Trump
didn't get a
not.
ran
ballot
on
that said you're going to get a
immigration,
carve
that's an
out
endorsement.
if you commit certain violent crimes in America and you will not be deported. I got the ballot. I voted. It wasn't on there. No. That's a game.
No,
We're
Harris,
going to
but
move
my
on.
point
Totally
here is,
specious
my
argument,
point
Richard.
here
Come on.
is
I get it.
that Donald Trump ran on immigration, and the American people rejected his policy.
But now we're getting, after 50 executive orders and actions, now we're getting the drill down on all of that. Remember, there were certain things that we couldn't get a drill down on with this particular candidate.
It's only
right?
been 2 weeks.
And he wasn't sitting down for a lot of interviews, so I would have drilled down with him. But let's move on.
And within that 2 weeks,
Alexandria
he's also issued a full.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she won't apologize to Senator Ted Cruz for accusing him of nearly having her, quote, murdered, end quote, in the Capitol riot. She tells the Washington Post, that's not the quote, and I will not apologize for what I said. Well, we have that original tweet. Here's the quote. You almost had me murdered 3 weeks ago, so you can sit this one out. Oh, okay, so she did say that. Guy?
Well, this is less than honest and demagogic from AOC, which unfortunately is right on brand for her a lot of the time. Look, I disagreed with what Senator Cruz attempted to do with the delay on counting the electoral votes. I thought that was a bad move on his part. I also do not see it at all as a call to violence, a call to arms, encouraging or fostering any type of threat. And unfortunately, AOC interpreted it a different way and slandered the senator. And of course, she's not going to back down. At some point, I bet she might consider fundraising off of it.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to let you go, bring you back for more talk on another time. Thank you both.